Hello, good evening. This is Brother Benson Media. We're also live in one of our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti. And over here, we do say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, we request you that you like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa tutasema ni asante. I want to take this opportunity to welcome all our viewers and partly to welcome my brother here, Bwana Msimamo, naye kuja tusalimu na tuambie siku yake imekuwa vipi leo hii. Bwana Msimamo, karibu.
Mimi ndugu yangu, nashukuru Mungu nimekaribia, lakini kwanza, awali ya yote, pokea zangu. Wale ambao wanatufuatilia pia wapokea zangu. Mimi kwa kweli hali yangu ilikuwa bomba zaidi, nashukuru Mungu, na tuko hapa tena kuendeleza yalivyo. Kwa hiyo kazi kwako kaka, maana niko ngange kwa maswali leo. Asante.
Okay, asante sana. Thank you so much for finding time to join us. We really appreciate. And as we want to start the conversation, I want to as well remind our viewers, as usual, that over here we do say that your opinion counts. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of Iho at the comment section. Thank you so much for finding time, and can also see Brother Benson. Acha nimpe nafasi naye pia atusalimu na tuambie anaendelea vipi. Brother Benson, karibu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Mark Babura. I'm doing fine. And I want to say hi to all the viewers.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for also finding time to join us. And today, I just want us to have a look at what really happened today. We saw the president in Ganze, that is in Kilifi, and of course, the issue of security has also been raised. Vis-a-vis, we've also seen the opposition take on what is happening in the Republic of Kenya, and that is part of what we want to discuss tonight. And before we start, I want to take this opportunity to welcome our viewers as well. And over here, we do dive into the hottest political stories, which are partly, of course, shaping the Kenyan right now, from President Ruto's dramatic security breach in Ganze, that is in Kilifi, where he had attended a homecoming for PS Fikirini, to the rising insecurity across the country, where we are seeing a lot of brutal killing of young people, starting from the minors to adults, something that is of concern to the people of Kenya. At the same time, the opposition's sharp criticism of the governance. This is a conversation, of course, that touches on leadership, safety, and of course the Kenya's future as we head towards 2027. So let's get into it, and I'll start, and I'll want to hear your take. I'll start with you, Bwana Msimamo. Ruto's Ganze security breach. I want us to start with that, and also we'll look into what really happened in that particular county. So today, the president faced a shocking moment in Ganze, Kilifi County, where a man carrying a Bible stormed the podium and briefly grabbed the president before the securities intervened. So what I want to hear from you is, Brother Msimamo, in your own take, what is your view? This is not the first time we are seeing this kind of insecurity. We've seen the president, and of course, you know the position that he's holding. Whenever we see such kind of activities, or whenever we see people crossing over to have a conversation or to get his nod, what does it tell you? Remember, he is the head of state, and you understand what security really mean in the Republic of Kenya. We saw the Inspector General Douglas Kanja immediately ordered changes to the presidential security detail, and he said that they have launched a special investigation, calling the lapse a matter of gravest national concern. Are Kenyan security system prepared to protect the head of state? That is the question that I would want you to hear. I would want to hear from you, Bwana Msimamo. And also, is Ruto's open, people-friendly style leaving him vulnerable? That is something that you can also give. But again, the other question that people are asking is, why do you think there's this consistency where citizens are running towards the president? What is the issue? What exactly, which kind of message do they want to take to the president? Is it something of his security, or these people are genuine people looking for his attention? Bwana Msimamo, tupe maoni yako, and then Brother Benson will pick as well.
Asante ndugu yangu, kwanza pokea zangu Brother Benson na wale ambao wanatufuatilia upande wa pili huku na Eoi na wengine wapokea zangu pia. Wajua kwamba dalili ya mvua siku zote ni mawingu, lakini pia vile vile wanasema weather siku njema ionekana usubuhi. Lakini je, narudia, siku njema ya ndugu yangu ama kiongozi wetu huyu wa taifa iko wapi? Kwa sababu matukio haya yamekuwa sasa ni mfuatiliaji zaidi, yani ni mfululizo. Tangia pale kwa Kiatu, tukarudi tena upande ule wa Northeastern, tukaona kijana amepandwa na mora ametuka ndani ya jukwaa. Lakini vile vile pia kufumba na kufumbua huko Northeastern, tukaona mzee anakimbizwa na balloon. Lakini tukirudi tena kwa leo, jamaa alioshika Bible kaingia haswa alipo. Kwangu kimoni yangu ni kwamba kuna jambo ambalo haliendi sawa, na hataki kukubali kwamba haliendi sawa. Analazimisha watu waamini kwamba anafanya kazi bora kuliko wengine wote ambao watangulizi wake wote watamtangulia. So kwa lile halionekani katika reality ama katika vitendo ama katika actions, linaonekana zaidi katika maneno. Kwa maana hiyo wengine wanashindwa kabisa na kutaka kuvumilia. Maybe kimtazamo wangu kwamba naika katika hiyo hali kwamba ni bora nisogee pale nimwambie personally, wacha liwalo liwe, kama ni kuuawa ni wawe, lakini labda nimfuate pale pale kwa sababu hafatiki. Si mtu wa kawaida, si mtu tu wa kawaida kwa mwanaweza enda naye tu hivi hivi. Ni lazima kufika mahali yupo, kuna kazi yahitaji moyo haswa wa kujituma. So unakuta kwamba kama huyu bwana tujajua alikwenda kwa nia mbaya ama kwa nia nzuri, kwa maana alikuwa ameshika Bible, lakini je, ujumbe alitaka kumpa rais ni upi? Na maybe pengine angeshikwa akaulizwa ni nini mbaya, akasema kwamba mimi jamani nataka kumweleza hili na hili na hili, lakini sasa amekamatwa, mwacheni, mwisho wa siku nitampanga. Sasa sijui kwamba atapanga wangapi, hiyo ndio swali ambalo niko nalo, lakini kwa kweli ni ishara ya kwamba kuna jambo haliendi sawa na hataki kukubali haliendi sawa, hususwa katika swala la utendaji kazi wake, maana maneno ni mengi kuliko ni matendo. So inafika wakati sasa mtu anajiuliza sasa tunaelekea wapi? Wengine nyoo zao hazivumilii, mtu anasema wacha liwalo, wacha kama ni vyovyote vile, but na ujumbe lazima nipeleke. Kwa bwana yule naamini kuna ujumbe alitaka kupeleka pale. Basi kama ni wawivu kwa sababu ya Fikirini na ni kijana mwenzie, so alitaka kwenda pale kwa hujo kujaribu kuelekeza kama lilivyowekwa, sawa, siwezi kataa, lakini kwa kweli naona kuna zaidi ya hilo, kwa sababu si tokeo moja, si tokeo la kwanza, ni matokeo ambayo yanaendelea maraba. Lakini pia turudi katika athari yake. Athari yake katika suala zima la usalama ni na shida nini, kwamba itakuwaje kwamba rais anaingiliwa vile. So inashusha pia upande wa security kwamba hawajajiandaa vilivyo, wamezoea kawaida kwamba watu watakuwa tuna kuogopa, kwa sababu matukio kama yale, mfano kama angekuwa ni wa kumwathiri, nadhani pale pale angeweza kufanya chochote kile, kwa sababu alimfikia alipo. Kwa hiyo uzuri alienda na Bible, lakini je, mfano angeenda na hasia zingine tofauti ingekuwaje? Sasa lazima la security pia hapa la kulaumiwa, kwa sababu malkia amekuwa mfululizo sasa hivi. So wakaache kujiamini kama wanataka kumlinda kwa kweli, na si kwamba naongea kwa ubaya, lakini naongea haswa na kutokana haswa, si jambo ambalo marais wengine tulivyoliona lile, unaona. So nadhani hilo pia linafaa kuangaliwa zaidi ya upande hao, wao wasikilize wanaomlinda, lakini kubwa zaidi kutengeza trust kwa mwananchi ni bora zaidi, kuwe na maneno ambayo anaweza jihesabia yeye mwenyewe, akiangalia pengine elimu sasa inapatikana, afya haina mambo mengi, unaona. Taxation pia, tax ile imepunguzwa, mafuta yanapatikana, yani uchumi umeimarika. Lakini kama ni hii story ya kila siku ya kwamba tuliwapa PSS wangapi, tuliwapa position wangapi, hatutaki kuunga jamii hii mkono, tunataka kwenda kwa hii kwa sababu jamii hii imeanza hivi na blaming game. Nadhani hii ndio inachosha sio masikio ya mwananchi, kwa sababu haina faida. Mwisho wa siku mwananchi anabaki yuko pale pale, anaishia ahadi badala ya maneno, badala ya vitendo. Mimi nitaishia pale kaka, asante.
Thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. Brother Ben, what is your take? What is it that is happening around the president and its security? What is it that the Kenyan citizen, some of them have been going or running towards the president? What is it that they are looking for? What is it that which message are they taking? And again, having in their minds the level of security and the repercussions, why is it that, they are getting to this extent? Brother Ben.
Okay. Okay, Makomura, thank you so much. I would look it into two perspectives. One, it is do I call it the dramas, or is acting? Because if you're very keen, that person was saying that Nataka usaidizi. I had something like Nairobi. How would somebody from Nairobi just follow president to Mombasa? That is one. So that one would tell you maybe it was something that was planned to achieve a particular or to achieve a particular intention. Remember, if you look at the setup on how the president was sitting, this was a homecoming. It means the people who will be sitting next or where president should be, these are people that should be vetted. They should be known, not an ordinary that would want to sit. And you cannot walk all the way from the back carrying the Bible and passing all those security. I'm still talking about the drama. So it could be something that was scripted and they were achieving it. And that is very bad, especially to the presidency. Secondly, he's talking about the drama. President went to do development, but a day like today, they were going to celebrate because that somebody was appointed, and they knew very well that this could be. There was nothing that could be talked about on that day, so they could have created something to make people talking about the president and all that. So that is that. Now, let us look at the real issue now. The exposed at which the presidency is. It is very bad, especially for the security of the president to be breached. Remember, president right now in the country is the mostly guarded person. The presidency and the president, the person, is the mostly guarded person, bearing in mind is the head of state, and if something happens, things can go wrong, So there is no way in which you can allow even somebody to access the presidency. Remember, this person passed the security until it touched the president, and had the president on the shoulder. What does that one show? That one it shows how the security of the president is not well managed, and that one is exposing the security of the president. Secondly, what does it show? It shows that there must be great lapses, especially within the team of the president, because you might be doing it for political optics, but it's not giving a good picture even internationally. What if, for example, this person had a bad intention? He could have achieved what he wanted, even if it was a matter of stabbing president with a knife. That he could have done that, even if he could have not killed the president. But at the end of the day, he has reached the president. You know, that is very, very, very bad. But it's not the first time that this is happening. It has happened now. This could be the third time that is happening, that a civilian could access the president and the dais. And I think if it happens for the very first time, it is required that the security apparatus would go and evaluate the arrangement of the security of the president. It doesn't matter, even if the president saying that wachana na yeye, wachana na, there you've taken an oath to protect the presidency. You don't have to listen to the president. That's why the president, they do not drive. That's why everything that the president is doing has to be monitored. You know, Remember, if you want to know how bad this is, when JF Kennedy, especially the president of America, was shot dead, yeah, the American actually reviewed the security of the presidency because of that. And it's not very easy for you to access the president of the United States. It's not very easy to access them, even just to be. Like, for instance, yesterday I was watching in the news, somebody was trying to just shoot at the resident of the president, and the Secret Service were not having it, you know? So that's a place that is so much affected. So I think it takes upon the security apparatus to look into that, because they leave president exposed. So that is what I can say.
Thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. Again, just in your own words, and based on the view that you've all given, in an instance where there's this consistency, and if you listen, remember, this is not the first time, like you said, we've seen them coming quite a number of times. And remember, some of them have been given the opportunity to speak, and whenever they speak, most of them are just asking for help from assistance, either financial. Majority of them are actually looking for financial support from the president. What does that tell you then about the leadership that we have? The citizens have gotten to a point where they are not being listened to, and so they are risking their lives doing something that they're not even supposed to be doing, and they do not care. They know very well that once you breach that protocol, you can either be killed or you will be taken to jail. What does this tell you about the situation within the country? Are things okay with the people? Are people stressed? What exactly is happening? Bwana Msimamo, you give us your take on that. And again, I want us to just finish up on that again. The issue of the reason why president was in this particular, uh, you know, a ceremony. He had gone there to attend a ceremony that is called the home welcoming of Fikirini Jacobs. Remember, Fikirini Jacobs is a young man who was actually poached, if I can use that word, by Raila Amolo Odinga when he had visited the coast region, and Fikirini was still a student leader, and he spoke. And from that day, Raila gave him an opportunity, and the other time we saw him also being nominated or appointed by President William Samoei Ruto. Just that appointment and the man Fikirini Jacobs, in your own way, Bwana Msimamo, what does that tell you about the young people and how he has always presented himself? People have always said that that young man is going far. What is your view? Is he representing the views of the young people at the coastal area? And with this appointment, what does that tell you, Bwana Msimamo?
Asante. I represent vijana, hilo ndio la haraka, na sababu ni kwa sababu unajua unapopewa kazi basi lazima pia uhuru uwepo. ule ambao utaweza kutoa yale makali yako, kama ni ujuzi, kama ni usomi, basi utofanya kwa uweledi zaidi. But kama umepewa hii kazi kwa masharti kwamba ukifanya mchezo kazi wakati wote unaweza lose kama hautaenda hivi, sasa unabaki sasa kule kusaidia, hausaidii, but unalinda kitu pale mkate. Then hii neno kupanga, basi hata hiyo fikiri inajipangwa, kwa sababu nipate hiyo kazi, kwa hiyo maana nipangwa. Kwa nini kupanga kwamba nitampanga, ngojeni kwanza nitawapanga, ama nitawapanga, ama kijana nitampanga, hata huyo adokwenda nataka kupangwa. Sasa huku kupanga kuna faida nyingi, kwa ina faida yake ni ipi kwa mwananchi wa kawaida? Kama itakuwa kwamba anayemjongelea basi lazima atapangwa, na kama hii ni kupangwa, basi ndio hii ndio jibu lake, kwamba kijana katoka alikotoka Nairobi kama alivyodai, na amefuata kwa ajili ya kupangwa, na yeye ameahidi atampanga. Sasa sijui atapanga hii hali kinamna gani, kwa sababu wengi hawapangwi, wachache tu wanaopangwa. Unaona, so nafikiri hilo ndio kubwa zaidi ambalo nitakuliongezea haswa katika hili, kwamba neno kupanga limefikia hatua hiyo, kwa sababu ni si mkutano mmoja miwili ama mitatu, ni kauli akawa kila siku on daily basis. Hata akiwa sehemu nyingine alizungumza kwamba hawa nitawapanga baadaye, fulani yuko basi hawa watabidi uwapange. Sasa kule kupanga si ni namna gani, kwamba ndio ile hela sasa yetu ya mwananchi inatumika tena kwetu kuweza kutumika kama chambo, kuweza kutuvua haswa na kujipeleka wenyewe katika kichinjio. Kwa hivyo nitaongezea hapo kwa security, nadhani kuna utepetevu, kwa sababu hii ni ishara mbaya, kama nilivyotangulia kusema na ndugu yangu ametindia pondo hili, unaona. Lakini vile vile pia kwa yeye mwenyewe mantiki, hadi afikie pale wananchi wamemchukuliaje, heshima ya hii imevunjika wapi, ambayo ilikuwa inadumu miaka yote, lakini sasa hivi imevunjwa hiyo protocol, na watu wanaweza mfikia by all means, piga huwa bila kujali, ni because mambo hayaendi sawa. Kwa hivyo yote ambaye anahitaji kwamba mambo yake ni sawa, basi itabidi amjogelee. Kumjogelea kusika kawaida tu kama mbunge ama nini, kuna kazi. Kwa hivyo muda mwafaka ukipatikana kama huu, acha nikutane na yeye ana kwa ana, wanifanye vyote, nipangwe mimi nishie. Kwa hivyo kwa kweli ni uongozi wa kupanga kwa wale ambao wataweza kuafiki. For those ambao hawataweza kuafika na yeye, basi watajikanga wenyewe kwa mafuta yao. Kwa hivyo hayo ndio mapungufu ambayo nazungumza mimi kama msimamo, kwamba yamelipelekea haswa kushuka kwa viongozi wetu, haswa ile trust kwa wananchi haipo, kwa sababu si mara kwanza tulishuhudia kiatu. Mara kwanza juzi kata tukaona chupa ile kirushwa ya maji, lakini vile vile tukashuhudia haswa Mandela, na sasa hivi tena Coast. So hivi vitu kivichanganya, basi vinaonyesha kwamba kuna mapungufu tele ambayo yapo, kama nilivyotangulia kusema kwamba katika uongozi, yani wao walifukuza kwenye miti badala ya kwenye shambani, na walifukuzaji ya kwenye miti, affordable housing, haya ya kwenye miti. Unaona, hiyo kubadilisha kutoka kwa NHS, hiyo yote ni kwenye miti, na barabara hizi ambazo hazinadi kwa kila siku, hiyo ni kwenye miti. Unaona, so kuna vile ambavyo alikuwa na ajira na biashara, uchumi kuanza kwa mwananchi kwa baada ataipata, lakini ajira zitapatikana za kikamilifu si nje ya nchi. Lakini mwisho wa siku pia kuhakikisha kwamba elimu haswa ambayo ni vitu vya msingi, afya na chakula, basi huwe ni vitu ambavyo ni vya vitu ambavyo vitachukuliwa maanani zaidi kwa Mkenya wa kawaida. So nadhani ni hilo ambalo nitaka kuongezea tu hapo. Asante.
Okay, thank you Bwana Msimama for your take, and Brother
Michael,
Ben.
Michael,
Yes.
you know, especially when it comes to the, maybe just to add something, especially when it comes to the security of what happened at the coast, I still believe 100% that this issue politically it could have been scripted, because this is how I feel. If this person could have been a resident who has been living in Ganze and was just waiting for that opportunity, then it could have been it's understandable. But remember, if you listen to clip very carefully, I might be wrong, but the person talks about, I'm from Nairobi, I need some help. And what happens is this. As you know, the picture that they wanted to create, for me, if I'm looking at it, the picture that president is somebody who is listening, bearing in mind that the guy that was the homecoming of the guy is a Gen Z. So it means president listened to the Gen Z, and that's why he was given that position. So it see that the president is very open, but you have also to ask yourself, like, how did that person appointed? Was he appointed on merit, or what made his appointment? There was a circumstances that made his appointment for him to be appointed. This was after the Gen Z protest, and this was negotiated on behalf of the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga, because I don't believe, and you cannot convince me that the staff was a supporter of President William Ruto. These are positions that were negotiated by the Right Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga. That's why he was given that position. So, to me, as much as they might be creating those dramas, and even if you go to the social media right now, you will see how the comments are, especially those who are blogging for the president or those who are supporting UDA. They're saying how president is humble, but they're not looking at the extent at which the presidency is being exposed to such like acts. So anyway, that's how the politics plays.
Brother Ben, just on what you've said, I just wanted to give you a view on this as well. In instances where you're seeing this consistency, people coming to ask for financial assistance from the president in a public platform, of course, having in their minds that there's total security over here and it is out of reach of normal citizens. These people knows what it takes. One, you can either be shot. Two, you will be taken to jail. They are fully aware, but they're still making this. What does that tell you about the economy? Is the economy doing good? Why are people risking to this extent, Brother Ben?
Makubura, I can say maybe there, but there are some that are not risking. These are just planted dramas that we might see. That's what I think, my own observation, if I'm looking at it politically. Because Makubura, it is not very easy, especially to break the security of the presidency in majority of African nations or even other other nations. It is not very easy. Remember, I can give you a typical example. There was a time when people were celebrating, I don't know, it was Jamhuri or what. There was a guy who tried even to go to the dais during Uhuru Kenyatta's time. That guy was beaten. He did not even reach the dais. It was during celebration, especially when you look at how the Uhuru security used to work and other countries. It is not very, very, very easy for you to reach. Look at what happened in Garissa. That is one. Look at what happened in Migori when the shoe was thrown at him. Those are some of the very, very, very critical observation or incidences that as a security of the president, you have to get worried and you have to evaluate yourself and say that, okay, this should not happen in a working nation or in a world where security agencies are working. I tell you, somebody in charge of presidential security will be summoned by the Senate and the National Assembly. I want to give you a typical example. During the campaign of US, when Trump went to campaign, there was somebody who tried to shoot him. And remember, they are given security at that particular moment in time when they are aspirants. But what happened? Yeah, the Senate, especially in charge of security, summoned the person in charge of the security of the president, and they need to ask those questions. Some of them did resign because they did not do a good job. So this is this is something that is very serious. It's not something that should be taken lightly the way it is. Now, talking about what is the feeling, if it's that so that everybody wants the president to assist them, it tells you that the systems are not working, because in a country where we are living, there is no need in which that everybody feels that there is only president who can help them. The president is the head of the state. And how does this one work? The legislative arm and every system that is put in place to make sure that each and every Kenyan is feeling or is getting what they're supposed to get, the services that they need. It means that the systems are not working. People are not getting what they're supposed to get to an extent whereby somebody is having courage to breach the security of the president. That is my take.
Okay, thank you, Brother Ben, for your take. And still, again, on the issue of insecurity nationwide, we've seen and we've witnessed beyond the Ganze, insecurity is becoming a national crisis. Ruto admitted that reopening the Kenya Somali border has been delayed due to the renewed Al Shabaab threats. Meanwhile, reports show that over 100 criminal gangs are active, many allegedly linked to the political class. We've been we've seen leaders like Senator Sotsi were attacked the other time, feeling fears of politically sponsored violence. We've also seen oversight bodies like IPOA warning that inflammatory rhetorics and hired goons could destabilize the Republic of Kenya. But again, apart from that, we've seen a lot of kidnapping going on in the country, where kids are being kidnapped, young kids, adults, and even old people. Some of them, if the kids are not abducted and then bodies found, the adults are also being killed, and then the bodies are being found, and it is continuous. Today, if you watch news, you will see quite a number. And it is something that is continuing. Some of them, majority of them are university students. If not university students, then they are primary students or high school students, and it's continuing. It is alarming. The question we are asking, even today, you saw a son to former member of parliament was killed in Kisumu. And they're saying that even as much as he was killed today, the other week, every week there has been that consistency in the killing. So I want to ask you, Bwana Msimamo, I'll start with you. We sliding back into the dark days of politically driven violence. Can police reforms restore the public trust? That is number one. Number two, what is your view? Today, if you watch news, you'll see that there are some bodies, parts that were found within Nairobi, some were found I don't know where, and it's everywhere. What is your view? What is it that is happening that we are witnessing a lot of death? We are seeing a lot of dismembered bodies. People are disappearing, but then the bodies are found. Some of them are not actually being found. What is happening, Bwana Msimamo? And what is the way forward as a country? And the police doing their work. Why is it that
Chumba
if
comment is doing. Makubura, are you listening?
yes.
I was saying, let me go then, because like I need to leave. Talking about insecurity, everything lies. It lies with the Ministry of Interior. And where the rain started beating us. It was when the Gen Z protest. Remember the Gen Z protest? That's when we started to see, especially the goons, especially in Nairobi, that were being captured, and they were talking with the police. We saw those videos running. Remember what was happening in Eldoret? We saw those people walking with those goons. Remember people who went to protect us, during the Sakaja and all that. That's where the rain started beating us. Remember when there was that protest, when the IDs were found and everybody, and all the drama that happened in Nairobi? Has anything happened about it ever since? So which means the very moment you start to use the goons, especially, you give them time to run the nation, or to give them that leeway whereby they're working together, and that's what causing, like right now you find that the politicians are okay to hire goons to protect them than even inform the security apparatus. What happened in Kisumu today is not the first. Right now, Kisumu is becoming the insecurity in Kisumu is wanting. I tell you, you know, and it is wanting. And you see, with all the political games that are taking place and all that, so the bucks lies with the Ministry for Interior. That is Kipchumba Murkomen. I think he needs to pull off his socks, especially to make sure that the security is done with. Thank you so much, Mr. Makoburu.
Bwana Msimamo, wasemaje kuhusu mambo hii?
Nadhani nimeeleweka sawa zaidi. Sina usemi zaidi ya hicho, nitaka kuzungumzia hivyo hivyo alivyozungumza kwa sababu ni aibu na si jambo, hata kama ni la kupanga sawa, lakini mbona na matokeo mwenyewe, kwa sababu usalama unaonekana kimataifa.
There's a lot of
So mimi
breaking on your side, Simam. I don't know what the problem is.
labda nitoke nirudi tena, labda network.
I think you can proceed. I can hear you now.
Sina cha kuongeza pale ambapo ndugu yangu Ben ameweka, unaona, kwa sababu kama ni la kupanga basi na athari kwake yeye mwenyewe binafsi, kwa hivyo anajichimbia kisima, anaheshimu na atangia yeye mwenyewe. Kwa maana security hii ni muhimu zaidi katika ngazi ile. So tukiona matukio continuous kama yale, basi anatupa mashaka hata kama ni la kupanga, wala ina dalili hiyo kupanga, kwa sababu wewe amezungumza wazi, ametoka Nairobi. Sasa koja kufanya nini ndio hatujajua, but hiyo ndio kauli ambayo aliweka, swala la mtu amesikia hivyo. Kama ni la kupanga pale alipokuwa, basi wacha ni kwa sababu nimeshakuwa, lakini athari yake kwake ni hilo tunataka kuzungumza. Asante.
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Msimamo. And I don't know whether you've seen I don't know whether you saw it in news. There was a young kid that was missing, and then apparently for some days, when the baby was found. I mean, when they tried tracking the baby, they realized that the baby had been taken by a 15-year-old girl, and she was confronted. She was giving contradicting informations. That someone sent her or someone didn't send her. She was not really clear about what was happening. But the issue of kidnapping has also been on the rise, Bwana Msimamo. What could be the reason? Because we've seen news here and there that a child has disappeared, but then the outcome then is their bodies are being found. Do you trust the security agencies to protect citizens currently? Because there's high level of insecurity in the Republic of Kenya. What is it that has led us to this point that we are, Bwana Msimamo? How are we going to stop this high level kidnapping that we are seeing in the country? It is alarming. Msimamo. Msimamo. Okay, as we wait for Msimamo, allow me to just acknowledge the presence of viewers. I hope, thank you so much for your consistency and your participation, and as well giving us your views over here. We really appreciate. Thank you so much for your support. Allow me as well to acknowledge everyone who is watching, either from Brother Benson Media or Kikao na Sauti. We also live in Facebook. I want to take this opportunity to remind you that we do have this kind of conversations. And over here again, we do say that your opinion counts. If you're watching for the first time, we request that you like and subscribe, because if you do so, it is a way of supporting us. Na sisi hapa, we will always be grateful. As I wait for Msimamo to come and give his views, I think the issue of kidnapping is consistent, and as a country or as a people, we need to be very vigilant and very attentive, especially in the areas where we stay or we live, because we've seen it could be there are people who are selling uh, either body parts or whichever, but it's something that is really alarming. We've seen today, if you watch news, you'll realize that so many young people they've disappeared, and what turns out is their bodies are being found, and some parts are actually missing, which is very strange. Bwana Msimamo, I wanted to give you a chance to give your final review on that before we move to the next segment.
Hiyo ndio swali lilikatakata, nafikiri neti yangu ni basi kama unanipata sasa hivi.
I was just asking you about, your view on the consistent kidnapping of kids, young kids that are then found dead and their bodies part are missing. What could be the business that is happening in the Republic of Kenya, and why is it that the security apparatus cannot, stop it or find or bring to book this perpetrator?
Kwanza hili jambo mimi nalilani vibaya mno, si jambo lenye tija sio katika taifa endelevu kama letu ambalo lina mengi ambayo linafaa haswa, unaona. Lakini vile vile lawama yangu iko kwa vyombo vya security. Wakiapa wameapa viapo kwamba wataweza kulinda mali na watu, unaona. Lakini sasa itakuwaje kwamba vijana watoto wadogo wanachukuliwa wanafanyiwa wasichofaa, kisha mwili yao pengine isipatikane, wala isipatikane? Yote haya ni kwa sababu uongozi uliopo haujali hilo. Ile unajali ni power, tubaki katika power. Ndio maana unakuta kuna hizi kauli ambazo zinaendelea sasa hivi za kwamba kama kura zitoshi tutafanya maarifa zitoshe. Unajiuliza zitatoka wapi ili zitoshe? So hilo tu ndio nataka kuliongezea kaka. Mimi sina mambo mengi, sina usemi mwingi katika hilo kabisa, kwamba yote haya nataka yeye mwenyewe haswa, na akitaka yaachike, Wakenya wawe na heshima ile, basi afanye wewe kwa Kenya kazi ya mambo mengi. Wakati wa pang'ang'a umeisha, hii kuonekana watu wako korado ndili beze zaileti shamu. Wakati wa kazi wafanye kazi, usione kazi kitendeka, lakini siku nadiwa. So tumi nafikiri nitaachia hapo, nitaongezea hapo, na kuwa kuna swali lingine kaka, kabla nitimuliwe hapa.
Yeah, maybe my last question, or something I would want you to give your view on, is the opposition's take on governance. While insecurity has always dominated headlines of late, the opposition is sharpening its criticism of how the country is being run. Fuel prices remain high. The finance bill 2026 is something that also people have started giving their view, but it has sparked outrage because of what is in it. We will get into that. One of these days, we are going to set a time and fully look into it. The opposition leaders are accusing the President Ruto of failing to caution Kenyans against the economic hardship. The former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is insisting that Kenya needs a strong opposition, rejecting any collaboration that Ruto is having with other politicians. Meanwhile, the TIFA poll shows that most Kenyans oppose Ruto's broad-based arrangement with ODM supporters demanding an independent opposition candidate, more so the ones on Linda Mwananchi. This, of course, is raising a critical debate. Is the opposition offering real solution or just criticism? And does Ruto broad-based government weaken democracy by blurring the lines between government and opposition? Msimamo, you'll give us your take. Should ODM, the leader ground, back Ruto, field its own candidate? Or again, on the side of the opposition, what is your view? There has been a lot of urge that they combine and possibly present one candidate so that they solve the problem that they keep on speaking about. More so coming out to say that the president is not there for the people, is not performing his work. What are your views on that, Msimam?
Leo kuna shida ya net kabisa upande wangu, na mambo anakatakata, si mimi pia napatikana ama ni vipi? Yaani tunapatana mara unaishia, hata sielewi tatizo liko kwangu. Nafikiri sio kama unanipata, kwa sababu naona network yangu nayumba sana leo. Unanipata
Nakupata,
kaka
endelea.
kweli?
Nakupata.
Ya swali lako umeuliza, lakini kuna vipengele vingi tu, unajua lilikuwa refu. Labda tu kwa summary haswa unaliekaje ili niweze kulipata in full, lakini kwa summary kidogo tu.
Okay, in summary, ile swali nauliza
Uh,
is wale wako opposition, they are saying that the government is not doing his work. And again, they are saying that President Ruto is not performing as per he had promised to the people of Kenya. And so they need to come up with a solution so that if President Ruto is the problem, if they're coming, which plan do they have? Are they ready to combine their forces and get the president out?
Mimi nakubaliana na viongozi wa upinzani kwamba maneno ni mengi kuliko vitendo, na hili halina mjadala. Muda walioingia katika ofisi, maneno yamekuwa mengi kuliko ni vitendo. So katika hili nafungamana na opposition kwamba wapo kwa ajili yao ya manufaa yao na kukusanya kwa ajili yao, si kwa ajili yetu. Kwa hiyo naungana nao kabisa kwamba hii regime imefeli. Samahani, imefeli kabisa kabisa kumwakilisha haswa mwananchi kikamilifu, licha ya kwamba ni jukumu lake mwananchi kuweza kupata maendeleo yale. Samahani, kikohozi kimenibana kidogo, unaona. Lakini sasa siasa kwa kila jambo linaingizwa hapo. Siasa kwa kila jambo. Mfano, tumesikia masuala 3, viongozi wakilalamika kwamba ile ilipangwa na wanalaumu Gachagua kufanya hivyo. Ukija ndipo ukifuatilia historia haswa ya nini kimejiri ni tofauti, mara madeni na taxi driver, mara nini, hakuna, lakini nimechukuliwa siasa everything. Kwa maana hiyo sasa, kwa kuingiza siasa kwa kila jambo imefeli. Kwa unaungana na ile position tukisema kwamba imefeli. Labda sasa waje na hiyo mpango, ndio tunataka kusikiza, kwa sababu ni viongozi wanajua mengi zaidi yetu, wamekuwa katika hii siasa, labda tutachangia wakati wakizungumza. Kwa kwamba regime hii imeshindwa kwa kweli, kwa sababu yale ya muhimu ambayo ni ya mwananchi hayachukui maanani zaidi ya yale ambao wao wanaamini kwao ni sawa. Hata hizo manyumba zikijengwa mingi, lakini kama uchumi haupo, zitakuwa ni nyumba hewa, hajamfailisha, licha kwamba ni uchumi ambao ni pesa ya Mkenya ambayo imetumika pale haswa. So for really, mimi nitaachia hapo kwa kasina usemi mwingi katika hilo. Asante.
Okay, thank you so much. And a good friend here is saying the united opposition The united opposition are not ready to change Kenya. They are still fighting amongst themselves for presidency seat. You can't bank on anyone at the moment. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, good friend. I hope for giving us a view on that. It is something that, for them, truth be told, for them to come out clear, for them to come out and fight the president politically, it takes a lot. And being that President William Samoei Ruto has been around and he's a politician who is not easy to beat. He's a smart politician. He knows how he plays his game. So it is not easy unless the opposition comes up with a proper strategy of getting him out, then probably they will manage, because currently you've started seeing quite a number of leaders, most of the associates of the president, telling the people how they have planned to rig the election. Some of them the other day were coming out to say that it is them who pays the IEBC. Some of them were speaking about Tanzania and Uganda, comparing the intelligence of Tanzania to Kenyan intelligence. And if the intelligence of Tanzania managed to get 98%, what about the intelligence in Kenya? Those are some of the comments that we were hearing from the political class. The political class, also those that are associated with the UDA. The other time we also saw the Secretary General of UDA giving up views which are partly, which is making comments which are against some community, which is not right. And we've seen quite a number of leaders calling him out. He has been asked to come out and apologize. We've not seen him. The only problem that we are asking ourselves is, if he's making these particular comments even in front of the president, then what does it mean? Something else is all these particular comments, they're coming at a time when Kenya is, we've gotten to partly the campaign mode. With all these comments, we have the NCIC. Why are they not taking the lead to ensure that such leaders who are making comments which are not right are dealt with as per what the law says? So those are some of the questions that people are asking. But ours is wait and see, and of course to remind the political class of their responsibility. And now I want to end at this point. We'll find time one of these days, we dissect or we look into the 2026-2027 budget, which people have started giving their views on. So we'll find time and look into it and partly get to hear your take. I would wish to end at this point. Allow me once again to say a big thank you to everyone who joined. We appreciate. We've been live here at Brother Benson Media and also at our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti. I heard you saying Gachagua met and great left a bad taste to my mouth. What are his real changes in the pipeline? One, opening a bank, will it be for everyone? Okay. Yeah, so those are some of the questions that people are asking. But again, like I said, we are going to find time and have a discussion about the finance bill and partly give our views on what is in it. In the course of this week, we'll find time and do that. I want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to everyone who joined. We appreciate your time being here with us. Thank you so much. May God bless you. Over here, we do say that your opinion counts. And before I end, allow me to just say a big thank you once again to everyone for being here with us. More so, I hope, for your consistency and, of course, your take at the comment section. We really, really appreciate. And may God bless you so, so much. I want to end at this particular moment. And so I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening from wherever you are watching us from. Thank you so much. May God bless you. We appreciate, and we say that we'll see you again tomorrow.